Hi, this is Nelson Ranch. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Tachyon report because it popped up and people are probably doing their best. So this is the Tachyon report. Um, so here we are. Um, and you get this report. So I've actually gotten everything here. Now, I still have one report left over that I can use. I haven't used it yet, but I want to talk about what you can use the report for. So, uh, uh, first thing to note, I think, is the fact that the Tachyon report shows up about once every season. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. So the first one came at the end of March, and then the second one came at the end of June, and this one came in the middle of October. So if we're lucky, we'll get another one, at the very beginning of January, and then we can get one in March again, and then and you get one every, get four per year. If we're unlucky, we'll get three per year, right? So we're going to get 3 or 4 of these Tachyon reports per year. So you have to basically have a number of characters ready for each of these reports, and I personally think that doing trainings like mad during this period when you have this 11-day window, I think is just insanity. So uh, I there's got to be a better way to think about who to strengthen your characters. All right. So who do you want to strengthen? Who do you want to use this report on to strengthen your blue factor, red factor, and green factor? And I think the answer to that one is basically characters that has won many uh, different G1 races. Because the way inheritance works now is that the more G1 races that you share with other characters in your parentage, so whether your parents or grandparents, there's a higher chance of inheriting. So, uh, you know, in this game, the best way for your character to win, or one of the at this point pretty much necessary ways to win, is for your character to have distance S. If you don't have distance S, it's going to be really hard for you to win most PvP matches, whether they be the League of Heroes or championship meetings. So you want to get that, right? So it turns out that if you have, so let's actually get to the actual characters. So let me actually just reset that, do this, and this is by name, so I'll flip it around. So this is the first character, not that one. This is the first character that I used my Tachyon report on, and I used I think 2 Tachyon reports on her to boost her power and mid distance. So she's power, blue 3 and red 3. 3 stars means that you have a 15% chance of inheriting that. So there's a 15% chance that I would inherit mid distance S if I use this character as a parent. But I also have my Top Gun, who's also got 3 stars here, so she also has a 15% chance of inheriting mid-distance S to the other character. And then this Ryan has a mid-distance 2, so she has I think something like a 7% chance of inheriting. And then if you have 1 star like this, you have literally like a 3% chance of inheriting. So they have, right? And basically, if you have a 1 star factor, it's just not going to inherit. You want factors that have 3 stars or 2 stars. I think those are the ones where you can inherit. Now here's the math. The way to think about this is that if you have a 15% chance of inheriting, you have an 85% chance of not inheriting, right? So if you have 2 red 3-star factors in red, then you have 85% times 85%, so 72.25%. I think that's what the calculator says on my computer. You have a 72.25% chance of not inheriting, which is the flip side, is you have a 27% chance of inheriting. And this explains why when you take a dirt character where you have to throw in 4 parents to basically make dirt into, grass A, you only get 2 factors that you can put into your distance is a real pain in the ass. Because, when you run, you have literally 1 in a 4 chance of inheriting, distance S. So it's pretty brutal. But, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4 in your parentage, so your 2 parents and 2 grandparents that have, 3-star factors, then you have a 52% chance of not inheriting or 47.8% chance. And if you have all 6, if you have all, if you have all 6 characters that has 3-star red in mid-distance, then you have actually a 37.7% chance of not inheriting, which means you have a 62.3% chance of inheriting. If you put in 5, right, so 2 parents and 3 grandparents, then you have a 44.4% chance of not inheriting, so a 55.6% chance of inheriting. And this percentage number is going to be boosted by the number of G1 races that you have won. So Mejiro Dober has come out of the make a new track scenario. So she has won, let's actually count this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 separate G1 races. So she's going to boost the chances of, passing on this factor if other characters have won that many G1 races. So this is my Top Gun. Let's see, it is not that one. It's this one here. Mid-distance, right? She also comes out of make a new track, and she has won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, she just won 13 G1 races as well. So, they don't share 3 G1 races, but together they've won 10 G1 races with each other. And so that actually boosts the chances of, passing down this distance factor. And that's why this is actually quite important, the number of G1 races that you have won. So the chances of inheritance, right, if you have factors that can be passed down, you want to actually have at least 4, personally, I think, that has that factor at 3-star or 2-star at the very least. And then this is going to be boosted by the number of G1 races that you got, plus the compatibility issue. So for example, Haru Urara has terrible compatibility because she's a short distance dirt runner. But if you have like mid-distance runners, there's a lot of characters that are categorized as mid-distance, and runners have good compatibility with other runners, leaders have good compatibility with other leaders in general. So base compatibility is affected by the number of G1 races that you have won, and you can actually make these characters inherit these things at a much higher rate. You want to think about these things, right? You want to think about characters that have won a lot of G1 races, and on top of that, because now that these things can be passed down, we now know that the white skills will also be passed down as well. So you want to actually have a decent white skill here as well. Now, back to the original question. Who do you want to pass down the, who do you want to use the Tachyon report on? Well, I have come to the conclusion that if you have 4 in the parentage, so 4 people out of the 6, right, 2 parents and 4 grandparents, you have a 47.8% chance of inheriting, plus you're gonna add the G1 factors, and you're gonna add the compatibility factors. So you should be able to boost this significantly to over 50% at the very least. Hopefully, like into the 60% range. In which case, then I think the other two can be dirt or grass, or type. So runners, leaders. Runners, leaders, betweeners, or chasers. So you can actually aim for a perfect specialization, right? Grass S, mid distance S, betweener S, right? And your character would be very, very strong just from that alone. So I have come to the conclusion that you actually want to spread the Tachyon reports around so that you can actually get this. So you want good parents in all the distances, in short, mile, mid, and long, and you want good parents for both grass and dirt, although they take less precedence, and you want good parents for all four, runners, betweeners, runners, leaders, betweeners, and chasers. Now, if you know that you don't do a specific type of a character, like if you know that you're just never going to do runners, or if you know that you're just never going to do chasers for whatever reason, then you can drop those and you don't have to worry about that. But those are the factors that those are the factors that you want to boost, I think. All right. So who do you want to boost? Back to this topic. I think the first thing that you want to boost is, first thing you want to do is you want to look for characters that basically has done make a new track. And for me, one way to do it is to basically just click on this. That's make a new track, right, climax scenario. And you click this. And these are all the characters that has the climax scenario, that there. And so these are characters that has won 35 races. This is a character that has won 36 races. This is a character that has run 39 races. This is a character that's won 35 races. You get the picture, right? All these characters that's run make a new track has won, over 25 races typically, because that's what you wanted to do. So this is Ricky, who I, pushed the grass to B so that she can run grass races. So she's won 1, 2. Well, that's actually not a grass race, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 grass races. She's won 9 grass races, right? And this is Ricky. So this is a dirt character that's got terrible compatibility with characters that run grass, but with this many G1 victories, it's not that bad. It's actually usable to some extent. Now, would I want to use her? Well, I don't know. I mean, because she's got 3 speed, 2 mile, but this skill is specifically for dirt, and this one is, I mean, maybe. I mean, she's got a decent number of skills, but there are other characters that's got better compatibility, so I wouldn't necessarily use her for a grass mile race like we're having right now at the League of Heroes coming up in November. But you get the picture, right? So the point is, if you have characters that's make a new track, you want to take a look at what kind of stats that they've got, and if they got good stats, you might want to seriously consider pumping in the Tachyon report and making them better. All right, so that's one metric that you can use. Now the flip side to this is, of course, if you have characters that win, let's see, what's that one? Not this one. Must be here or something. No. Maybe here? No. Maybe here? No. No. Oh, this one. Right. I think this is actually a very good candidate. So if I put in 2 more here, then this time I'm across would be very good as a chaser. But unfortunate problem is that she ran the Lark scenario, the Lark Triomphe. And when you run this scenario, you have 1, 2, 3 separate G1 races that you've ever won. So it's like barely any. And I would like to use the Tachyon report, but if you only won 3, I really can't bring myself to use it. And the metric that I use is the character needs to win at least 10 G1 races before I'm willing to stick in a Tachyon report, generally speaking. But if you actually look at the whites, I mean, it's very strong. She has a 2-factor for the Lark scenario. She's got 2 factors for this, 2 factors for this. That doesn't count because it's only 1 factor. Triple factor for this, triple factor for this. This is the lower version of Never Give Up, and this is the lower version of the Scenario Gold skill. She's got 2 for this. This is the one for the gold skill that you can get as part of the scenario gimmick. And she's got triple star for corner and triple star for straight line. So she's like perfect. I could use her in any distance, right? And you know, I could bump up a character's what do you call it? You know, compatibility to from Chaser A to Chaser S or Chaser B to Chaser A with just 1 star. So if I do use her, I'm probably just going to use her like this, and I'm only going to use her for characters that already have a high compatibility with Tamamo Cross, but with nobody else. So I can't use the Tachyon report on her, right? Does that make sense? All right. So one is the number of G1 races that you've won. I personally am going to go with the metric of you need to have won 10 G1 races. Okay. Now, so you can pump up the blue, the red, and the green. So that means you can't change anything in the white. So what are the things that you want to look for in the white here? And my answer is you want to look for things that's got 2 or better. So 3 is ideal, but 2 or better stars. And if you have 5 skills that are useful in the white, then I think it's well worth it to stick in the Tachyon report. So that's 1 skill here. There's 2 skills here. This is 3 skills here. This is 4 skills. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 skills here. That's actually very good to have. And 4 of them are 3 stars. It's really good. And on top of that, I have also the scenario bonus. The scenario bonus is nice. The scenario bonus will add anywhere up to 30 to your stats. So this will add 30 to stamina and 30 to power if it was, I think, 3 star. So it's really nice to have this scenario factor. And so I count 2 scenario factors as essentially being 2 white skills. And if you have like a scenario factor of 3, I count that as 3 white skills. So you want at least 5 white skills before you can put in the Tachyon report. So in this case, I'm not going to put it into a chaser because I actually already have a character that's actually quite good as chasers go, and that is I think this Hishi Amazon? Yeah, this Hishi Amazon. Power 3, Chaser 2, Green 2, 2 in Climax scenario, and she's won 38 races, so I'm not even going to bother counting that. But she's got 1 skill that's useful for Chasers, another skill that's useful for Chasers. It's 1, 2, 3 skills that's useful for anyone who runs a long distance, and 4 skills for a mile. And on top of that, well, this is not that useful, and this is not that useful, and this is not that useful, and this is not that useful. But I've got 2 climax factors, so I've put it into here. This is actually not that useful either. I don't know why I have that skill. This is just a view skill, so it's not that useful. It's probably very cheap, so that's probably why I got it. But so she's got 1, 2, 3, 4, if this is a mile. So 1, 2, 3. So this is longer, then this would be useful. So 1, 2, because if I use Harurara, then I can get Harurara's gold recovery skill cheaply with this. So this is 1, 2, 0.5, 0.5, 3, and then 4, 5. So that crosses the hurdle of 5 white skills that can be used in almost any scenario. And then tons of G1s. So pop, in goes the Tachyon report to make it blue 3, red 2. Now for this, I'm willing to actually just go with red 2 and leave it at that, right? But so I actually already had a chaser thing, so that's why I'm also not going to put it into Tamam Cross. Anyway, so at this point, I think I've talked about like the generalities enough. So lots of G1 victories. The goal is to get distance S, grass S, and or dirt S. So you can actually reset that and do grass. See how many characters have grass factors. I have a ton of characters with grass factors. And dirt, I have less so with dirt, but these are the characters I got with dirt factors. So I've got one here, speed to dirt 2. So this is both Maruzensky, but power 2, dirt 2. But I have speed 3, and they're both Maruzensky, so that one goes down in priority. And instead, I might want to put it in Ricky, but this Ricky already has, dirt 2, so it's like, leave it at that. Why is that not dirt? Right. And this Ricky's, speed 3, dirt 3, so I don't need to put anything in dirt, but you can actually like kind of figure these things out, right? Actually, let me just think. Yeah, she's triple tiara, so climax, so that's fine. And this is Grand Live, that's why this was. Now I remember, but that one was a mystery. So this is power 2, but they're all Ricky, so I can only use one Ricky as parent anyway, so I'll probably use this one. If I have to use a parent from Maruzensky, I'll use this one. And then I've got the dirt parents from here. The reason why this one is not is she's only won 13 races, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just 8. So bit rough. This one is got speed 3, dirt 2, and this is Lark. So 1, 2, 3, just 3 races. So just like not that good. Oh, this Agnes Tachyon, by the way, is a actually got dirt, but actually let me just. I have another Agnes Tachyon that's got dirt, so I can actually just do this. Dirt. I have this Agnes digital, not Tachyon. I have this Agnes digital, which has mid distance 3 and dirt 3 here. So this is what I. So this is like the perfect. So if a dirt race that's mid distance comes, this would be definitely one of the parents because 2 climax factors. 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then if she's going to be a leader, then that would be useful as well. This skill is not that useful, and this skill is not that useful. So there you go. 39 races won. Anyway, back to the topic. Where was I? I'm getting off track like constantly. All right. So lots of G1 races won. You want one, good parent or grandparent from each of the distances and each of the types of conditions, grass or turf, and each of the types of running styles, right? Of the 4 running styles: runner, leader, betweener, chaser. So that actually means you need 4 plus 4 plus 2. You need a total of 10 characters that are actually quite good, and that's a tall order. But because you can expect the Tachyon event to come at least 3 times a year, because we've had it 3 times this year, so I don't think they'll reduce the number of times it'll come next year. It's actually doable. So in my case, the first factor went into making this Mejido Dober. So the first Tachyon report went into popping these two, power and mid distance, and I got her. And then with the one left over, I put it in this Hishi Amazon, I believe. No, not this one. This Hishi Amazon. And I got Power 3 and Chaser 2. I would have ideally liked to make this Chaser 3, but I'm going to do that next year when I have a little bit more time. When I have a little bit more, free, Tachyon reports available. This takes less priority. The distance has higher priority. You saw already that I have Grass 3 and Dirt 3, so I'm leaving that alone. The second one, I think, was in long distance, and I put in the Tachyon report into her to make this much kind of Tannhäuser, blue 3, red 3. And this has now become a red 8. So red 2, red 3, red 3, red 8 character, and I can just throw her in any long distance race that comes, and she's got 2 here that's useful, 2 here that's useful, 2 here that's useful, because long distance races are all right turns. This is only useful in autumn, so it's like quarter of the time useful. And then this is the URA scenario, so that counts as 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a quarter. And so I put in the scenario factor in her, and in her case she's 114 because she ran the URA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right. She didn't win the mile races because she's mile D. So I was like, it's close enough. I'm gonna let this one slide. She's actually very good. So there you go. Plus, for her, I can actually use this to increase my speed and improve my recovery. So this is, I was thinking if I ever use Christmas Oguri Cap again, then this will actually be a trigger that I could use. So, there you go. Unfortunately, she's only got 1 star here. So once again, if I have like plenty of Tachyon reports, I don't know what to do, then it's at that point I would actually bump this up to 3 stars here. So this would be 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 star. The same thing will go with Dover and what's her name, Hishi Amazon as well. I will make them all 3 star, 3 star, 3 star. That's the ultimate goal of beefing up these things. So 2 reports went into here, and I think I had 1 report left over, and it was a long distance, and I think I put it into this Narita Bryan. This Narita Bryan, I think was... No, I didn't put it in this Narita Bryan, now that I think about it. Who did I put into? I had 1 more left over, and I put it in somebody. I'm trying to think. Who did I put it in? I can't remember, but now that I think about it, it wasn't a distance character. It was actually a character to boost either runner, leader, betweener, or chaser. It was one of those. I basically put in 2 factors to boost the distance, and I put in 2 reports for the distance character and 1 report for the leg type character. And in the third one that came, I've actually invested 2 reports into this Maruzensky. Where'd she go? Here. And now she's got stamina 3, mile 3, and she already had green 3 here, so she's already done. And this is great. So this is spring, autumn, and this is summer. So that's 3 quarters. So these 3 is 3 quarters. And then Speed Eater for mile, and this is supposed to be mile, so that's perfect. So that's 2. That's 1 factor that's useful. This is 1 factor. This is the lower version of high voltage. That's 2 factors. This is 3 factors. 1, 2, 3 and a quarter. and then 2. So 5 3/4. Right. So almost 6 white factors that are useful. And she's won 22 races. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, I can't ask for anything more. So there you go, right? I got a character that can run the long distance, the mid distance, and the mile. And for the short, I remember now. I think I put in 1 factor to a short character. I may not have put it into a distance character now that I think about it. Who did I put it in for short? Trying to think, was it this Taiki? It might have been this Taiki. Yeah, I think I put 1 in short in the previous one. And so I have like a speed 3 and short 2 here for this Taiki. This is, characters that I might put it in for short if I actually have, this is like Grandmaster 3, so eventually I do want to put it into here. Unfortunately, this is short, so this mile corner and this Makenki of 3 don't count. But for betweeners, I could use her because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8. So a betweener that can get to like 3rd or 4th place would get like an extra boost from this in short distance. So if I ever get like 2 extra Tachyon reports that's lying around, I'll put it in here. But the thing is, unlike the mid distance and the mile, short distances races just aren't held that often. So I actually don't really care as much for short, to be perfectly honest. So that means that I've got a blue star 3 and 2 star for all the others, and 3 star distance except for short, which means that I might want to use the current leftover Tachyon report on her, because then I could actually make this blue 3 red 3 and then I'll be done. This one is good because this is a that's 1, or that's not that useful, but this is useful. This is very useful. This is extremely useful. So 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then half and half. So good enough for here. So I could put it in here. The extra. So I don't know why. This one is bar. I don't know why I use this one for mid distance. There must have been something for making this mid distance. Could make. Could put the 1 here, but this is for dirt, because she's a dirt character primarily. So it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just 3 G1 races on grass, so it would not make much sense to actually put it in here. So I could put 1 in here and make this into a blue 3, red 2, 28 victories here. But then this one's only got 1, 2, 3 and a half. Well, it's 4 because that's actually a half. I mean, why do I want stamina and short distance? I really don't. But it can be a trigger for various things. So, but that skill is useful. This skill is useful, and this skill is useful. So I've got 3 skills that are useful, and then this skill and this skill is like potentially useful. So it's weak. This one is relatively weak. This one is a pretty good. It's a climax scenario, so 35 wins. but only got 2 here, 3, and 4. So again, I didn't put in the Tachyon report here. Anyway, so I'm more or less happy with the short distance. You know, it's okay. Then the question is, you know, what about runners? And for me, I actually have a decent set for runners, I think. These are the runners that I have. This Maruzensky has intelligence and runner 2. It's a pretty decent white. This power 3 runner 2. Again, pretty good. This is speed 3 runner 2, although it's not that good. This Seichan is guts 3 runner 3 and angling scheming 2, and you know 1 2 3. Well, that's debatable, but 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Yeah. 8 potentially, right? So, you know, this one's. I may have put it in her now that I think about it. Now that I think, I may have put it in her to have a runner, to have a runner factor. Yeah, because this basically, I think I did put it in her because this made it runner 7. So if you have runner 7, then you can actually change many characters that are runner C into runner A. And so if I've got any character that's runner C, this one character can pump her to runner A, and then the other side will just, I'll put in all the factors to get her distance. So 3 parents on the runner side and 3 parents on the distance side. I think that's how I designed that one. And then for leaders, sorry, I have a whole bunch. This one is the most recent one that I made, and I'm actually quite happy with her. She has speed 3 and leader 2, and then this is useful. This is useful. This is useful. So that's 1 2 3 4. Lark scenario has 2, so that's 5. And for Mile, she's got this one and this one. So, you know, as a Mile leader, she's perfect. Even for not the Mile, she's actually quite decent as a leader. And even though this was Lark, she's won 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12, and she's lost both L'Arc de Triomphe races. But you know, she's won enough G1 races, so she's fine. So you know, this is the leader version, and I've got a whole bunch of others that are leaders. So leader, 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 etc. I can't use Ogre Cap on Ogre Cap, but you know, I got a whole bunch of these. So there you go. And then, whoops. For chasers, you already saw the chaser that I have, which is Inshi Amazon. And the only one I don't have is actually betweeners. The only 3-star betweener I've got are these. Major Orion, 3-star here, 2-star. It's decent. She's got, you know, 2 skills that are useful for leaders. So I really don't want to put it in Ryan. Plus, Ryan often tends to be the parent, so I'm not going to use her as a grandparent. And, you know, I might use her as a grandparent only in like the current upcoming Arima Kinen or something like that. It's very rare that I would use her. But I could pump it in her, and then that would be, you know, blue 3, red 3, green 3, and then I could inherit anabolic as from a grandparent, and that's actually one possibility. And the only other one is this vodka, power 3 and betweener 1. Betweener 1 is actually very weak. I mean, I can bump anyone who's like you know, betweener B to a betweener A, so it's useful there. But she does have like the the white skills. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4 white skills, and possibly 5, right? So, you know, 4, maybe 4.5 white skills, but she doesn't have any scenario factors. And it turns out that I have this Narita Bryan, who's leader 3 and guts 2. So if I pump in 1, I can make her into guts 3, leader 3, and shadow break 2, and with 3 climax factors. That would be 3 white skills. But that's only 3 white skills. This is autumn, and this is actually 1 star. So, you know, 3.25, right? And I've got another Brian, which is also ran the make a new track, so 41 victories. This one's also the same. Triple TR, 37 victories. And this one is power between her, and then 2 in shadow break. And then she has 1 pace up, so that's actually useful. This is actually useful to have at the end game scenario. This is useful for Urara, so that's 1, 2, 3. And then this has got 2 climax factors, so 4, 5. This is not useful at all. And then this is potentially useful. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. And this is for mid distance only. So, like this, the reason why I'm not using the last Tachyon report available is because I'm not sure where to put the last one. I might want to put it in here, here, or here. Basically, I'm basically torn by these 3 possibilities, and it's really annoying. The speed debuff, why is this? Weird. I have a lot of speed debuffers that have. I have a lot of debuffers that have a factor in that. So this is Lark, so I can't use her. This Grandmasters. Yeah, just 7 victories. So there you go. You know, what should I use the Tachyon report on? The last report I'm debating, but I basically got what I wanted for mile, mid distance, and long. So I might use the 1 to beef up Take Shuttle to make it into blue 3, red 3, or I might pump in 1 into Major Orion or Vaka or Narita Bryan and get a what do you call it, a leader factor that's useful that I've thrown into my parentage, probably as a grandparent, and then I can aim for you know, the perfect you know, distance S, grass S, and you know, betweener S or chaser S or runner S or leader S or whatever. I suspect that one of the reasons why my Mr. CB was actually quite good in the previous championship meeting was, I mean, she won a lot. She won the most actually, is because where is she? I don't get it. Where is she? Where's she go? Oh, there she is. It's because she had you know, Chaser S, and she got that Chaser S from this Amazon Chaser S. Did I put in anybody for Grass S? Yes, I did. I actually got Grass S from this El Condor Pasa, hoping that I might actually inherit that. But you know, this is a mid-distance, and mid-distance, and mid-distance. So 4 parents with mid-distance, 1 parent with chaser, and 1 parent for grass. And then I was shooting for, you know, SSS here, and then, you know, this would have been godly. But weirdly enough, it wasn't her that won the championship meeting. It was my Tamachan. So you just never know. There she is. It's my Tamama Cross with only mid-distance S. Um, yeah, and this was the strongest one that I had. So I would have given her. If this had proc, that would have happened. But that's grass. So, you know, I could have gotten a SS here. And I think there was one Tamama Cross. It may have deleted it already. Yeah, this one is that. I didn't use her. I could have used her, but I didn't. In the end, I found that this Tamama Cross was better in the championship meeting, primarily because of this skill from Nakayama Festa. This skill here. Ready to die. Anyway, so you know, I've talked way too long, but I wanted to talk about you know, the whole inheritance thing, because I think this is actually a pretty important part of the game. If you have good parentage and grandparents, you know, you're going to have a lot stronger characters, and you know, who doesn't enjoy, you know, when your characters are stronger? Alright, so enough babbling. I'll quit here. It's been 45 minutes already. So I'll see you guys around. Take it easy. Bye bye.